giving you real relationship talk, real relationship drama with the best night of your life. Your host Jay and Cynthia E. Hold on, and ready to enter the J Spot on intellectualradio.com.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome to the best night of your life. Woo! You have entered the J Spot where we are strengthening relationships and families one conversation at a time on intellectualradio.com. We are an iHeart station. I'm your host, Jay. You all, I want to thank you all so much for tuning in. Please do me a favor, you all. Go to our page, like our page at the J Spot. Then follow us on Twitter at J Spot. Follow us on Instagram at the J Spot. And then go right around the corner to YouTube. Boop, boop, boop. Like and follow us there, the J Spot Radio. Go to TikTok, like and follow us there, the J Spot. Guys, J is Jaye. Guys, please turn on the notification bell for all platforms. Happy Thursday, you all. Thank you so much for allowing me to join you on your ride home or as you cook dinner or pop some kids upside the head, baby, because it is summer vacation. And guess what? They ain't at school. They ain't got no homework. They ain't got nothing to do. I'm so sorry for you all. Y'all better get them some books and get them something to read. Listen, that's how my mother used to do us. Listen, give you 30 minutes to read. Read the entire book. Do not come, listen, don't come messing with her. Read. That's why we were all very good readers because we read every day. Every day. Even in the summertime when you were done with homework, we were somewhere reading. And that's why I love to read, not as much as talk, but read and talk as well. So, guys, listen, thank you so much for tuning in. Listen, guys, we have a great show lined up for you tonight. But let me just tell you all what happened to me prior to the show. You all, listen, these cicadas are real, baby. Let me tell you something. I was attacked by a cicada, baby. That thing flew on my leg and I almost flew into traffic. I'm just like, oh my God. So once I got over that freaking ordeal, then I'm like, okay, let me get them clearly. Let me get away from the tree because all I hear is whatever sound the things make. That's all I was hearing. And so I'm just now, Lord, is this the end for me? Is this, I hear you calling me? Like, is this the end for me? Or, what's really going on here? Because I'm not prepared for this. I'm not ready. So I go to what I thought was a safe area in a parking lot near no trees. And a cicada, another one comes flying. I'm like, what is this? A bat? Them things flying so fast and hard, and it just landed right on my leg. And I'm just like, oh my God. Listen, I need to go back home and go in the house. What can we do about this? Because listen, all of the years of living on the West Side does not prepare you for any type of wildlife action. It just does not. I don't care. Listen, the West Side does not tell you how to deal with if you walking out and you see the deers, just wandering along. Listen, it does not prepare you for that. It does not prepare you for when you get off of work at night, especially in the wintertime, and you're walking up the steps to your house and there's a possum sitting there waiting for you, like, what took you so long? Like, wait, what? We're not doing this. The West Side does not prepare you for those type of things. The West Side does not prepare you for these flying cicadas. Now listen, I'm not one of those people that go out and make it seem like, oh yeah, I'm from the West Side and I'm tough and all this. No, 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 no. Tender spirit over here, okay? Tender spirit this way, okay? You're dealing with a tender spirit. Somebody say tender spirit. And listen, I'm okay with that. I don't have nothing. Listen, you're too old to be that scary. You're too grown to be. You can call it whatever you like. Makes me not nam. Never mind. I am not about that life. Repeat after me, family. Jay is not about that life. I am not about the cicada life. I'm not about all these bug lives and all of this. I'm personally not about the foolishness. I'm not about the foolery. I'm just not, so you all please keep me lifted. But you be careful out there, because them things, listen, I had to come up here. I'm checking in my head to make sure there's no cicadas mating and having babies in my braids. Had to make sure there were no cicadas in my purse. You really just have to be careful, and you got to make sure, because listen, this is, and I will be on, this is some foolishness. It's some foolishness, you all. Some true foolishness. Now, speaking of foolishness, let's go ahead and get into our hot topics. Now, listen, this first hot topic, this was a good one. This was a question that I got. So, your child is graduating from college, and you live with your dude. And so, the night before you all are set to go to your child's college graduation, your child father calls and says, listen, my car broke down and I don't have a way to get to the graduation. Can I ride with you all? And your dude says, no, he cannot ride with us. I don't want him riding with me. How would you react to that situation? Again, you and your guy live together. It's your child's college graduation. Your child's father calls and says their car broke down and they don't have a way to get to the graduation. And he wants to know if he can ride with you and your guy, since you guys are going to the graduation. And your guy says, no, he can't, he can't go. I don't want him. He can't go. He can't ride with us. How would you react to that? Would you still let your child father ride with you? Or what would you do? How would you handle that? Would you go along with your guy? Hey, pretty Tasha, how you doing? Yes. So how do you deal with that? So my thing is this. I like to think that I have the attitude of, listen, it's not about the adults. It's about the kids. So we have to do what's best for the kids. So if your child is graduating and his father calls or her father calls and says, listen, my car broke down and I'm not able to get to the graduation. Can I ride with you all? And then your guy says, no, he can't ride with us. And you're like, okay, well, wait a minute. What do you mean he can't ride with us? Here's my thing. Clearly, you were his last resort, because I can't see, unless you guys have that type of relationship. And clearly, it wasn't that type of relationship, because your dude said no. But I would like to think that in a situation like that, if you guys live together, clearly he knows that there's nothing going on between you and your child's father, because if it was, then, and if he thought that, then why is he still with you? That would be my first question. So it's like, why are you saying no? Like, are you saying no just to be a butthole? Are you saying no, oh, it's not my responsibility? And I don't think that he's asking from a place of it being your responsibility. He's asking from a place of, man, something happened, and something happened that was beyond my control. I'm still trying to make it to my child's graduation. So are you going to choose that time to sit there and beat on your chest as, oh, I am man and he can't, he's not going to be able to come because I don't want him to come. He's not riding with me. Or are you going to be the bigger person and say, listen, this kid, I don't want to deprive him of the opportunity to see his child graduate. So yeah, I don't like it, but at the same time, I don't mind, because you should have enough love for the child to whatever dislike or whatever it is that could potentially be your problem with not wanting to let the father ride with us. Your like and respect for the child should trump whatever ill feelings that you may have towards the father. So I don't see why a responsible and mature man, I don't see what would be the reason to say no in that situation. So fellas, let me know, what do you guys think about that? And ladies, how would you handle it? Again, this is your child graduating from college, and his car breaks down, and your child father's car breaks down, and he's asking, can he ride with you and your guy? And your guy is saying, no, he cannot ride with you all. How would you feel about that? How would you react to that situation? Fellas, what would you do? Is this man right? Is he right for saying, you know what? Listen, is he right for saying, he's not going to drive. He's not going to let this man drive with him. Guys, if you want to talk to me, my number is 708-223-8953. Again, the number is 708-223-8953. If you want to call in and talk about this, if you don't want to say your name, you want to remain anonymous, then you can go ahead and do that if you want to answer this question truthfully. But again, help me understand, because maybe I'm missing it. Maybe I don't see it, but I don't see what the issue is. Why would you not want this man to, come and be a part of his child's special day, especially if you can help it? So again, maybe there was some bad vibe, if it was some bad blood, but I don't think, how much bad blood could it be if the father is willing to put all of that to the side to come and, still ask you, humble himself. And because to me, that takes a great deal of drinking some and eating some humble pie for a man to come to another man and ask him for a favor. It has to be, he has to take listen, that's a huge chunk of humble pie. Now, if anybody, in my opinion, that should be uncomfortable, it would be the mother. Because here it is. Now, you sitting in between the old dude that used to smash your guts and the new dude that's now smashing your guts out. So if anybody that has a reason to sit there and be a nun or be a sister, it's the mother. Because she gotta look at both of you clowns. And so I don't understand. So for me, I'd like to let's flip it. If it was the mother and she calls, your baby mama call, she can't get to the graduation. We got the kids, on their way to the graduation with us. But the baby mama called and she's like, my car broke down. I can't get to the graduation. Can I ride with you all? And she asks her baby daddy. And her baby daddy is on board with it. But me, as being his significant other, and he asks me, and I say, no, she can't ride with us. What does that look like? How do you even fix your mouth to say something like that? How do you fix your mouth to say no? Why would you say no? Now, the only reasons why I can think that for real, that we would say no is if we got bad blood, you got a smart mouth and you disrespectful and we don't get along, don't even come this way. That your car broke down because you're a spirit and you a wicked, unfamiliar spirit. That's why your car broke down. And that's what I'll tell her. You a lying wonder. That's why your car broke down. Don't come over here, Satan, trying to listen. We will not be entertaining the enemy today. That's what I would say if she had a bad attitude and we didn't get along, or she was always doing some stuff. Then I can see that being the that being the answer. But again, if even for the father as well, like if oh boy is just on some dumb stuff all the time, then again the same thing would be for him. You are a wicked spirit. Get away from me. You will not step foot in my car because you are evil. But you are some kin to Satan. But if none of that type of stuff is happening and you just don't want them to go just because you in your feelings, or you just don't want them to go, you don't even have a real reason for them not to be able to ride with you. You just want to be an old dusty fusty stick in the mud. Then I would have to question, like, man, what's this all about? Like, I mean, because I would be asking, like, okay, what's this all about? Like, what's no? You would have to give me a really good reason, and still I wouldn't be okay with it. So let's say, okay, so he's going with the no. Your dude going with the no. He can't ride with you. Well, if I got a car, then the baby daddy gonna be able to drive my car. I'm gonna try to get him in the car with a family member that's going down there, something. But I'm going to try to participate and help him to get down there so that he will not miss his child's graduation. But to sit there and be, to me, I think that that's like a childish, that's a childish response. Especially again, if there is no bad blood and there's no disrespect, then yes, I think that the father should be able to ride with you. Nikisha is saying, smashing my guts. Absolutely. Listen, you the one that got to be the mother, is the one that has to sit down and take the walk of shame, because she don't, these are two dudes that, listen. And then they probably looking at each other and wondering, did she do that thing for you that she used to do for me? You know how people be all petty, well, maybe everybody ain't as petty as I am, but I just tend to, my mind tends to go to the pettiest place sometimes. So, as I said, I reside on Petty Island. But again, at this point, when it's dealing with kids, we should always be doing what needs to be done to put the kids first. What's best for the kids is what is supposed to be the decision. We have to act upon, making the best decision for the kids, not acting in response to our personal feelings and how we feel about something. Again, the only reason why I can say that I would just hands down, 10 toes down, say no is if they got a nasty attitude and we don't get along. We're arguing like it's very toxic. But if we're cordial with each other and we're able to be in the same room, now granted, I'm sure it will be an uncomfortable drive. I'm sure it will. But you got to find a way to entertain yourselves and just think, listen, we're doing this because we all love and are proud of that kid that is graduated. And if everybody think about just doing that, then everything will be fine. But as long as we worried about adult issues and all this and that and trying to outdo each other with this, and listen, stop being petty all your life. Stop being petty all your life. And that will lead us to our next hot topic. Now listen, ladies, would you still date a dude? Would you date a dude that is letting you know up front that he does not do kids? He does not want to be around kids. He does not want to date a woman with kids. But you have kids. Would you still, and listen, he is the end all be all. Like he is everything in the looks department, everything in the personality department, everything in the career department. He checks off all of the boxes on your list, baby. He checks them all off. Okay, all of them. He's checking every last one of them off, with the exception of this tiny little detail. He don't mess around with kids. You got about 3, 4 of them, 5 of them, maybe even just one. But that's it. He doesn't deal with kids. Now listen, You done got all wrapped up into him and everything, and you guys had not got to the point of talking about your family structure. So now you're out, you're on a date, and now you're getting to know each other and you're talking about family structure and careers and what you want out of life. And the topic and the subject comes up of kids. He tells you how he feels about kids. And then once he tells you that, you don't tell him that you have kids at that moment. You don't reveal that to him because he's already told you how he feels. Would you go forward with trying to be in this relationship and hoping maybe he would change his mind once he gets to know you? Or, would you go forward with that? Or would you say, you know what? I'm gonna have to cut my losses because he's telling me what he wants and what he doesn't want. And what I bring to the table, in addition to everything else, I'm a mom. He doesn't want to date a mom because he doesn't do kids. So do you take that as a personal attack, or do you take that as a, you know what? He just got to get to know me. He just got to get to know me, because as soon as he gets to know me, then he going to fall in love with me, and then I'm going to just be able to apologize for not telling him that I got kids. But once he loved me, he going to start to love my kids, and he going to want to be around my kids. Ladies, if you think like that, come close. Come close. Come a little closer. Knock it off. Knock it off. Let him go. He's already told you he doesn't do kids. So guess what? If you have kids, he's not your dude. He's not your person. You have not found the man of your dreams, or whatever the case may be. You have not found that in him, in this particular man. You know why? Because you're a mom, and he doesn't want to deal with a mom. So you cannot be mad at that. And it's not right to try to deceive somebody when clearly they're telling you what it is that they want. They're telling you what they don't want. And it's not up to you. You made your choice. You made your choice to become a mom. And nobody is faulting you for that. Listen, I love being a mother. If a man tells me, when I was dating my son coming up, and you tell me you don't want a woman with kids, okay, I can respect that. Like, listen, as I always say, I don't want a woman with kids. So, we're even. Like, I don't want a woman with kids. So, I wouldn't be offended. Here's the thing. We got to stop trying to take away people's choices. We got to stop taking away their right to want what it is that they want. You can't get mad because you don't fall into the category of things that they want. Just because you want them, it doesn't necessarily mean that the want is going to be mutual. And once you find yourself hiding details about your life and who you are, then now you're lying. Now you're deceiving this person, because again, you bring something to the table that he doesn't want. So let's get up front. Let's be okay with people telling us what they want and what they don't want. And if you don't fit the criteria, it's okay. Move on. You're not their cup of coffee. Listen, you're not their bottle of water, and it's okay. Here's the deal. I'll give you a perfect example. You all see how milky I love my coffee. Everybody hates the way I drink my coffee. Guess what? I don't care, because you ain't got to drink it. As long as I like it, that's all that matters. So the whole world don't have to like what you bring to the table or like your situation. All you need is that one person. I always say you just need that one person. You don't need everybody. You just need the one person, and then you guys go and rock out and be great. But we should never be in position where we are deceiving people to get what we want, because again, it's not going to do anything but backfire on you, and it could get very, very ugly in the end. And listen, when people are telling you, listen, I'm like this. When a person is telling you that they don't like kids, don't try to force your precious baby on people, because this is how kids get hurt. People, they already got it placed in their heart, and they may not listen. Before you, they may not have been intentionally, thinking of doing harm to a kid. But when you put people in situations like, yo, you don't know how people's minds will switch and flip, and you don't want to take that chance with your kids. You don't want your kids' lives and safety to be at stake because you just had to have that man. You just had to have that relationship, even though he's telling you he's not into you like that. He's not into that. And how, Jay, how's he saying he's not into me like that? Because he's telling you he doesn't want to deal with someone that has kids. So if you have kids, then guess what he's saying? He's not into you like that because you got kids, and he doesn't want to deal with that. So you got to be okay with him not dealing with you in that area, and you got to let him make his own decision. So listen, nick it with the dudes that don't want the kids, and then women too. You come across women that don't want kids as well. So we gotta be okay with people letting us know what they want and what they don't want. Hey Gretchen, how you doing? We gotta be okay with that, because if we're not, listen, we're gonna put ourselves in position, and then this next hot topic could very well be the case. Now, this next hot topic, and I'm gonna call this lady everything but a child of God, because I did not like the way that she did this. So the lady, she's dating a guy, same situation. Her guy tells her he didn't want any kids. He don't want to deal with any kids. So this $2 raggedy, and I'm not even gonna say the other word because I don't want to get banned, but this wench goes and drops her kids off with the grandma because she decided to go forward with the relationship, even though the guy said he didn't want any kids. So guess what? She went and dropped her kids off and kept going to go start her new life with her new man that done told her he didn't want no kids. Wait a minute, where are we doing that at? Where are we doing that? So you lay down, you make these kids. They didn't ask to be here. You made them. You make these kids. And then because you get in another relationship and they tell you they don't want any kids, now you're abandoning your child because the new person that you're with is saying they don't want kids. Ma'am, let me tell you something. Somebody take her and shake her out the rest of her brain, because not only is that so low budget, that's so trifling. So trifling. You that hard up for a dude that you're going to abandon your children for a man that tells you he don't like kids. Well, ma'am, you should have thought about that before you was swinging off the chandelier, before you was, baby. You was busting that thing wide open without protection. Rip. You busting that thing wide open. You letting this brother plow the whole club up several times, or maybe several brothers plowing that thing up. And now you are a mother. So now you meet this dude and he says he don't want kids, and now you going and you dropping your kids off, abandoning your kids, abandoning your responsibility for a dude that don't want your responsibility, and rightfully so. Here's the thing, newsflash, them your kids. He don't have to accept them, but you don't have the right to put your kids off, abandon your kids. How dare you abandon your kid? How dare you do that over a dude that ain't gonna want you anyway. Once he found out you got kids and you done did that low budget stuff, how do you do that? How can you sleep at night being a, listen, you're a deadbeat. Matter of fact, you're worse than a deadbeat because you've given your kids up for a dude that clearly is not going to want you whatsoever. You're raggedy. Ooh, beep, 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 beep. It was a whole bunch of other words that I wanted to say. Beep, 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 beep. But I don't even curse. But you know what? Y'all can drop some cuss words for me if y'all want to, because that is a raggedy situation. She get in. Go get out. Go to your grandmother. Grandmama like, where you going? I ain't say I was watching these kids. The kids getting out with their little suitcase with the little clothes and stuff. Reggie say he don't want no kids. He don't even know I got no kids. And Reggie say he love me, so I'm finna go ahead on and move on and see what's going on with Reggie. Girl, I will come bust all your car windows. I will bust Reggie's car windows. After I'm done busting his car windows, I will bust your head to the entire white meat and will not take you to go get stitches and leave your kids right there so they can be crying and saying, Grandma, why you do that to my mom? Why you do that? Because she's raggedy. That's why I did it. So I bust her head to the white meat. So hopefully when she come to, she can be in her right mind and pick up where she left off at being a good mother. If she didn't get it right that time, I'm going to bust on the other side of her head and bust that side. And hopefully the goal is to bust some sense into that raggedy head of hers, because on no circumstance do you do that. If you know that there's a chance, listen, if you got kids, it's just that plain and simple. You don't, and somebody is not on board with you and your kids. This is why we have to talk about this ish in the beginning. Stop waiting to feelings and stuff. I'm telling you, to me personally, but let me know what you all think. I think that talking about heavy stuff and things that we want and things that you know that could potentially be a deal breaker, I think that stuff should be addressed up front, because I don't want to start having feelings for you and you having feelings for me. And now we're sitting up on a bunch of deal breakers. Now we got to go through this crazy breakup. Now we got feelings involved. And now because we didn't tackle the deal breakers. So at least if we had discussed what our situations were and just been real with it. Keep it real. You don't have to spill all of your business, but it's certain situations that you know may not be ideal for people. Like, fellas, okay, listen, you could have been in jail. I've been in jail years ago, whatever. In my teens, you know, our favorite slogan, and I believe in this slogan, young and dumb, because you got some young folks and they doing dumb things, and then you got some old folks that do some dumb things. But I don't think that young and dumb, to me, I don't think that that's an excuse. That's just where people were in their lives. I was young and I did some dumb stuff. It's not saying that I don't know right from wrong. When saying I was young and dumb, to me, I don't think that is trying to escape being held accountable. That's just what your reason is. What if there's what do you want them to make up a reason? Oh, well, I had a traumatic childhood, and you know, who are you? Are you a therapist? Are you going to help somebody unpack all the psychological and emotional baggage and things that they may deal with as a result of, you know, their childhood? Are you going to help people unpack all of this stuff? So sometimes, especially in today, and that's why we're talking about this a little bit later on in the show, responsible dating, because again, sometimes we do absolutely too much. We ask too much, and then we're not even qualified to handle the answers. I'm going to say that again. We ask so much. Sometimes we ask so many personal questions, but we're not qualified to handle a person's answers. And then are we even listening to understand when we ask people and we're trying to get to know somebody? Are we actually listening to understand? or are we listening to judge people? Now, here's the thing. I'm just going to be honest with you. It depends on who you are and what personality is running dominant for me that day. And that'll let you know what set of ears are listening to what you are telling me. If it's my sane self, then I'm going to listen with compassion and then understand it. But don't let that judgmental side of me get that information, because we're going to judge you. Listen, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to judge you, and I'm going to judge you, and I'm going to laugh and be critical and all this other stuff if the wrong side of the personality gets to the information that you're giving me. So you need to be aware of that. If the wrong side, the wrong personality get it, listen, yeah, we're going to sit there and we're going to judge you. Yes, we are. And we're going to enjoy doing that. But if you get the nice, caring, sensitive, understanding side of me, then, all is well. Your secret is safe with me. It's safe with the same person. But if you get this crazy one, y'all know what I'm talking about. If you get her, I can't make you any promises, okay? I cannot make you any promises on how we are going to process this information. All I can tell you is we will do our best to make sure we keep it under wraps, but I can't promise you that. So stop asking people all these questions that that, first of all, you are not going to be in position to deal with their truth. See, here's the thing. Everybody can't deal with your truth. They can't. And I'm not saying that you have to reveal every little dirty thing about yourself. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying you should reveal things that other people that will, if they found out, it would affect your relationship. Those are the things that I believe should be revealed, because people have a right to make a decision on what it is and what relationship they are involved in. So again, if you got a record, she may not want to be with somebody that's been in jail. So now why would you wait till y'all done fell in love and y'all got the first baby on the way? Now it's too late. Now you done took away her option to break up with you because y'all done fell in love. So the same thing, ladies, you got kids, you got all these kids or whatever the situation is. And he's telling you that that's a deal breaker for him, and you're keeping that a secret. Like, how cool is that? How dare you do that? So we definitely got to think twice about holding these type of things. My thing is this: get it out there in the beginning. Listen, if you won't listen, I'll blurt it all out there on the first date. So therefore, I don't have to worry about falling in love down the line. Now you ripping my heart out and stepping on it and taking a TT on it, when we could have just went through this stuff in the beginning. Or listen, vice versa for him. Listen, I'm going to ask you. And people always say, Jay, that's so invasive. And how do you act? That's so personal. Well, I want to talk about credit, because it's important to me and it's a deal breaker. So you don't have to tell me what your FICO score is, but I'm going to ask you what neighborhood is your FICO score in. See, it's a way to do everything. What neighborhood are you in? Are you in the 300 neighborhood? Are we in the 400 neighborhood? Are we in the 500 neighborhood? Are we in the 600 neighborhood? Are we in the 700 neighborhood? Because, anything, listen, you choose whatever neighborhood you comfortable with, okay? But I'm telling you, it's a certain neighborhood I'm not going to be. Listen, it is what it is. So we have to talk about those things. Listen, what is your debt to ratio income? Do you owe back child support? Ladies, look, are you paying? Listen, fellas, I got y'all. Listen, I just thought of it. Just came to the thinking thing. Ladies, are you paying full market rent? Or are you still getting Section 8? Are you sneaking and getting Section 8, and you got these brothers, you out here living in the biggest penthouse, but you up here on Section 8? These are things that people have a right to know, because he thinking that you can afford to live how you live. Oh, now I want to hear it. Oh, Jay, that ain't his business. That ain't his business. Hey, Michael, how you doing? That ain't that RJ. Now see, that's too much. No. Don't hate Jay. That's too much because if we can ask them questions, then they have the right to ask us questions as well. So it's like, listen, he needs to know that. He needs to know, is that a Section 8 voucher that you have your apartment with? Because if it is, then that's letting him know that, listen, your finances might not be where they should be if you are not able to pay your rent at market value. Again, I'm not judging you, and I'm not saying that nobody should be jumping down your throat because you're not paying market value rent. What I'm saying is, just like we as women have a right to ask men certain questions, especially we love to get up into it about financing and things of that nature, finances, then they have the right to ask the same thing. So, fellas, that is a question. I just gave y'all a question because I know a lot of y'all not thinking about that. But see, I know things. So that's why I'm giving y'all a little game. Ask her if that's doggone it, is she paying market value for that rent, or is that Section 8? That's what I would ask her. Ask her if it's Section 8. And again, then you can know how to proceed accordingly. And Tremaine is saying, how long have you been in that apartment? Absolutely. Absolutely. You can definitely ask that because those are important questions. Do you ever intend to become a homeowner? These are, like I said, that if you want to become a homeowner, I'll probably ask that later on down the line. But things that I know that would be a deal breaker, like, okay, man, if that's your deal breaker, how long that they've been renting or in an apartment, then yeah, I would let that, listen, if that's my deal breaker, that's my deal breaker. And you have a right to have that as whatever it is that you want. But my thing is, things that you know that it's just an absolute no for you. Like, why not talk about those things up front? And I know people will say, well, you know what? Dang, Jay, you got to give a person a chance to get to know you or get to know a person and then, ease into those type of situations. But here's the thing. How am I going to ease in? What's there to ease into if your credit score is in the neighborhood of 300 or 400? What is there to ease into? There's nothing to ease into. He could be a good dude. You missing out on a good dude. You missing out on a good dude. Listen, I got to see all of that. Like, listen, now, a lot of stuff has happened. COVID and all this other ish has happened. So my thing is, again, talk, don't just cut it off. Like, after that, see what the story is. Because, again, it could be a story that makes sense. And now you could see, oh, wow, there's light at the end of the tunnel. Man, he had his own business and it went belly up during COVID. And now his score is in this neighborhood up. You know what? This guy, we can work with this guy because guess what? He had it before. He lost it. Let's rebuild. Okay. We can work with this. But if you've always been in that neighborhood, but you got the flyers car and all of this other stuff, that's probably going to be a problem. Tremaine is also saying health. Absolutely. That's a great question as well to talk about, that people don't really talk about that. And that can be, man, these are sensitive things. And I'm not saying that to just go and blurt out your whole entire life. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is there's a way to ask things or kind of bring up certain subjects in conversation just so that you can kind of put those things out there. Because sometimes, listen, just by talking and just having general conversation, but guiding that conversation in the direction in which you want it to go to find out the things that you want to find out, that can be very helpful. And a lot of times I don't think that we do that. So we definitely got to make sure that we are doing our due diligence to get to know each other. Tremaine, you're right. He's saying spending habits. Listen, spending habits are you in debt? Like I said, it's so many different questions. And again, you don't listen. You ask the right one question, you don't even need no follow-ups. You don't even need no follow-ups in some cases. So again, we just gotta sit down and talk and just get to know each other. But if your deal breaker comes up, if it's something that you present to the table or you present to the relationship or the situation, and it's that person's deal breaker, listen, be adult enough. I'm not gonna say man enough or woman enough because this applies to both. Be adult enough to fall back and exit the situation because you know that just based upon talking to each other that you meet some things and there's some things in your life that they don't necessarily want in their life. And guess what? People have the right to want what they want in their life or not in their life. And we have to be okay with that. Guys, we're going to take a short musical break. And when we return, we have more hot topics to get into. Stay tuned. You're listening to the J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time. Yeah, listen, it be real. Listen, we sitting up there, listen, we want to jump right to the horizontal mambo. Ow, 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 bite me, bite me, bite me. We want to jump right on up into that. Now, we in our feelings. Now you find out, oh, well, Roscoe really didn't want to deal with nobody with no kids. He didn't want to deal with nobody with no kids. He didn't want, it was too much. He didn't want to deal with that. Wait a minute, what? And he has the right to not want to deal with the kids. He has the right to not want to. But then again, she got a right to not want to deal with you if you got back child support or you got all these other financial issues or your credit is not where it's supposed to be. Like, we all have a right to want what it is that we want. But we shouldn't be being deceitful to keep people around, especially once we find out, like, you know, what they're looking for and what they want. And if you check off a box in their notes, if you check off a box or two or a few boxes in their deal breaker section, and you know that you got stuff that they saying is a deal breaker for them, and you choose to try to proceed with that, you setting yourself up. You're setting yourself up for hurt. You're setting yourself up for disappointment. You're setting yourself up for pain. So again, we have to, and let's stop taking just because you ain't for them, stop taking everything so personal. Can you adjust that camera back? You have to stop taking everything so personal. A little bit more to the left, a little more to the left. Thank you very much. Oh, you are the best. See? But look, we have to stop taking everything so personal. Okay? Listen. Oh, she got a big forehead and she talks too much. Okay, that's my forehead and I talk too much. I'm clearly not for you. Okay? I'm okay with that. So let me take my forehead and my big mouth and go somewhere else where maybe you like a big forehead and like somebody that talk a lot. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we can't take everything to heart because everything, you know, listen, we are free to choose. And just because you are not their number one draft pick, don't mean that you won't be somebody else's number one draft pick. Just give it a chance. Just stop being so, listen, move on. But the thing that gets a lot of us caught up is we stay too long. Welcome back to the J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time. Guys, I want to thank you all so much for tuning in. Please do me a favor, go to our page and like our page at the J Spot. Follow us on Twitter at J Spot. Also follow us on Instagram at the J Spot. And J is spelled Jaye for all three. While you're at it, go right around the corner, go to YouTube, boop, 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 like and subscribe to our channel there, the J Spot Radio. Go to TikTok as well, like and follow us there. That's the J Spot. Again, guys, J is Jaye. Guys, turn on the notification bells for all platforms. Want to thank you guys so much for joining me, allowing me to, just chatter a bit Okay, a lot in your ear as you are driving, cooking, or doing whatever it is that you're doing. Thank you so much for tuning in. Guys, listen, I'll update. Just want to let you know also that I still do not have access to my group, Grown and Sexy Conversations with Jay. It was hacked almost a month ago, and these bastards are posting just anything. They are listen, let me tell y'all, anybody that's a member of Grown and Sexy Conversations with Jay, I do not have control of that group anymore. They had the hackers have taken over the group. They are posting some bull junkie. Because I'm gonna tell you, baby, if that was still my group, and I'm fighting to try to get it back, you all. But as of right now, I have not had any luck with getting my group back. Group of over 100,000 people. But the foolishness that's being posted up in there, I said, oh my God, if it wouldn't have been considered spam, I would be getting on this post and be like, you know what, y'all bogus as heck. Had this been me still in control, none of this stuff would have been on this page because this is some foolishness. So I'm definitely disheartened because they are what I've worked for so hard since 2015. They are literally, letting my group go to pits. Like it's just it's it's sad to see it watch. So, but again, I am working to try to see what I can do if hopefully I can at some point get my group back. But in the meantime, in between time, listen, the show must go on. So please join us at Grown and Sexy Conversations with the J Spot. That's our backup group. That's where we have been kicking it at for the last few weeks. It's a smaller group, but guys, with your help, we can be back at 100,000 in no time with all of your help. So listen, add like-minded people to the group. Now listen, we not trying to be on this bull junkie. Add like-minded people that want to have a conversation, that know how to have a conversation, that understands that everybody is not going to agree with your views. Ladies, listen. My feminist ladies, I love y'all, okay? But I'm not a feminist. Okay, I'm not a feminist. Okay, I'm not. I believe in, listen, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. So do not holler at me and do not come talking about you're still approving those type of posts. And I think that this is not the group for you, ma'am. This is not the group for you because we are going to freely talk. If women are freely able to talk and ask questions and post things that don't violate the community standards, then the men are going to be able to do the same thing. So if you're not okay with that, then this is not the platform. Like following me and being a part of our platforms are not the place for you because baby, we're going to talk and here's the thing. Everybody going to get mad. I'm going to tick everybody off. Okay, everybody's gonna get ticked off. The men gonna get ticked off. The women gonna get ticked off. The kids gonna get ticked off. The dog gonna get ticked off. The fish. Oh, and I just can't wait for them cicadas to die. That's just a sidebar, but I just can't. But everybody gonna get ticked off because listen, I'm an equal opportunity crap talker. Okay, it is. So nobody is safe. We're gonna talk crap about everybody in love, and then guess what? We're gonna talk crap and we're gonna move on. See, talk crap and then we move on. We're not gonna get stuck there and get all up in the feelings because that's not what we do over here in Grown and Sexy Conversations with the J Spot. So Maisha, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. You say, I really hope you get your page back. This is ridiculous. Thank you so much, love. I really hope so as well. And I thank you for being over here and supporting and rocking with us. But guys, listen, our next hot topic. Now, ladies, let me know, child, what do you all think about this? If your wife gives a man her number, if a man gives your wife his number and she accepts it, but she doesn't intend on responding or answering if and when he texts or calls, is that cheating? Okay, let me repeat that. Your wife gives a man her number, but She says, listen, I don't intend on answering if he calls or if he texts. Is that considered cheating? You're married and you're giving somebody else your phone number. Is that considered cheating? So my thing is this. I'm not sure, why are you giving your number if you don't intend on responding? Like, I don't see what would be the purpose of giving your number to someone if you don't intend on answering. So that's just me. So, like, baby girl, you can miss me with that bull junkie, because I'm just like, okay, well, what sense does it make for you to give somebody your number? You didn't even give Femo the wrong number. You gave the right number. And now you sitting up here expecting me to believe that you're not going to answer it if he calls. What was the purpose? Like, why give your phone number if you're not going to answer it? Hello, ma'am, listen. Fam, she think that you was born on that on the slow bus. She think that you were born and the umbilical cord is still wrapped around your neck. That's what she think by telling you some Smith like that. Is it cheating? No, but I mean, it's like it's opening the door for some foolishness. It's just like, if you're gonna give your number, what you giving your number for? So you can call some, or he can call you, and y'all can start, good morning, king, good morning, queen. Y'all can start all that bull junkie, and then your husband make you mad the right day, and then there y'all are out now, y'all talking out now, you venting to him about what's going on with your spouse and all this other stuff. So just be very, very careful with that. Maisha is saying, did she give her number for business? Well, it didn't say she gave it for business. And it's like, if she gave it for business, then that would be fine, because then she wouldn't have to say, well, if he calls or if he texts, I'm not gonna answer. So based upon her reply, Maisha, in my opinion, I don't think she gave the number for business purposes, because her response to her husband was, well, if he calls, I'm not gonna answer. I'm not gonna respond to his text message. Girl, bye, and bye. Pretty Tasha, you're saying right. There is no sense of doing that. It makes no sense at all. That is not honesty. I would just tell him that I got a man, so it's not appropriate to give my number to him. Absolutely. And here's the thing. If you are in doing business, because I'm like this, you have to give your number if you're doing business and if you're networking. But here's where the trickery comes in at. And here's where you have to be the best version of yourself. Because if you are doing business and you give this man your number, but clearly this man was flirting with you. Clearly this man was trying to get with you. You know good and foolery well that it's going to be a chance that this is going to be a personal conversation. This conversation, your conversations and your connection with him is not going to be about business. You know why? Because he already showed you up front with his flirting that it was not going to be about business. So go ahead on and tear your happy home up if you want to. Playing around, trying to play the field. Okay, keep on. Because what I'll be wondering is, okay, how many other women are he doing this to? That's what I would be wondering. But listen, don't take a chance. Again, if it's legit business, let's do business. Let's rock and roll. Let's listen. I do business all the time. Listen, get my card out. Listen, listen, and I'm quick to shut them down. Listen, I'm single. I should not look. You called me and I gave you my number under business circumstances, and you're calling me. So what you doing Friday? Bastard. See what I'm saying? You wasting my time. Listen, dude, I'm trying to make some money and build some stuff, and you sitting up here trying to pillow talk. Get up out of here with all that. I'm trying to make some money. I thought you was serious. Listen, I'm gonna tell you, you have no idea how many times I have went off like that, thinking that I've met a realtor, and you just calling, trying to get up. Yo, I'm trying to listen. Oh my goodness. How many times I've met construction workers or thinking, contractors, and you trying to, so what you doing this weekend? Looking for a contractor because clearly I didn't find one in you. So that is frustrating. I'm not saying that it happens a lot, but when it does, trust me, I go off just like a gasket because you're wasting my time. Like I'm trying to make some things happen. And I'm thinking we're networking and you thinking we about the network. Come on. We got two different things. We got two different agendas. Get out of here, Father. Oh, Lord, have mercy. So, yes, if you're giving him your number, just to give him your number, and then you're saying, "Oh, well, if he call me, I'm not gonna answer." Ma'am, you are definitely on some bull junkie, and you need to just get your stuff together. Pretty Tasha is saying, yes, if it's for business purposes, then it will be more acceptable. And Maisha is saying she is definitely wrong, and she definitely did intend to cheat. Absolutely, because as soon as he start texting that good morning queen, y'all know that's how they start off. Good morning, queen. Good morning, beautiful. I'd be like, oh God, here we go. Here we go with this bull junkie. I just be like, you know what, y'all, you know what I'm gonna start doing? I'm gonna start saying, you know what, just put us all in the same group and just send one group text because you wasting time sending all these individual copying and pasting the same good morning queen, good morning queen, good morning boo, good morning. You're wasting time doing that. Just put us all in the same group and just send out one massive text message and then just get it over with so that we can all just respond to the same text message because we know that it's other good morning beautifuls, good morning this, that's why y'all don't say the names. I be like, oh boy, here we go again with this bull junkie. But yeah, ladies, don't get caught up in this situation. Don't fall for the okie doke because I think that is very deceitful, it's very dishonest, and it's low budget, and it's, listen, you about to tear up your home. You about to risk it all, and you're saying that, oh well, you didn't intend to use the phone number, you didn't intend to do anything like that. So listen, like, don't put yourself in that type of position. Now you all listen, what do you all think about this? Now this was a very interesting topic. So here's the deal. The lady says her husband works the night shift and he gets home at about 7 o'clock in the morning, and he likes to take a shower when he gets home, as he should. The problem is, she says that her daughter likes to shower before school in the morning and is not out, by the time the father gets off. So the husband told her to talk to her daughter about her morning routine because it interferes with his shower time after he's come in from a long night of work. He wants to take a shower when he gets home and be able to relax. But your daughter is in there. So he's asking you to talk to her because it's interfering with him. So she says that I feel that he is wrong because she is a teenage girl who is trying to make sure, listen you all, she's trying to make sure she looks okay for school. He thinks that since he pays she said he thinks because he pays all the bills, he is entitled to showering in the morning, knowing she has to go to school. My daughter showers 30 minutes before he gets home and has to go into and out to fix her hair and brush her teeth, etc. How can I get him to see? Listen, you all, this woman, listen, she says, how can I get him, the husband, the one that works overnight, night shift, that's just trying to come home and get a shower? She's saying, how can she get her husband to understand that he's being selfish? Woo, child. The man works overnight. He gets off at 7 o'clock in the morning. He wants to come home and take a shower and unwind. But he can't do that because y'all daughter, y'all high school daughter, is in the shower and she's fixing her hair and all this other ish before dad gets home. And the wife wants to know, how does she tell the husband and how does she let him know that he is selfish? What do you all think about that? Is the husband selfish for wanting to come home after working all night and getting off and getting home at 7 o'clock in the morning? Is he wrong for wanting to come home and take a shower, but he wants his wife to talk to their daughter and ask her to rearrange the time in which she takes a shower? Because when he gets home from a long night of work, he wants to be able to take a shower. But the wife wants to know, how does she tell the husband he's being selfish? Ma'am, if you don't get your whole understanding together, if you don't get your whole entire understanding together, Mesha says that she needs to adjust her daughter time for using the bathroom, or she needs to pay all the bills since he's selfish. I'm with you on that. What harm? Why can't you tell? You got a girl. Listen, if she wants to do all that beauty prepping, listen, she needs to get up and she needs to be out the bathroom before your husband gets home, and she needs to leave enough time so that the water is hot for him so he can take his bath how he wants to. Ma'am, your husband is not selfish. I don't understand. You're selfish. You don't get it. How are you not taking care of the person that's taking care of you and your daughter? How are you not taking care of the man that is providing everything for you all? How are you not seeing that he is good? Yeah, I understand that your daughter has to look cute and all this and that, but my man got to be taking care of your daddy. It's my job to take care of this man. I promised to take care of him, to love him, and to make sure he was okay. Man, baby girl, baby toots, we gonna have to figure something out for you. So you go in there and you either take your shower over at night, or you get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and you take your shower, and then we'll get you some mirrors and stuff so that you can fix yourself. You can play Beauty Shop Part 2 up in your room. But what you're not gonna be doing is hogging that bathroom when my man get home. My husband, your daddy, the breadwinner, when he get home, what you not gonna do is be in that bathroom. That's what you're not gonna do. What you're not gonna do is be giving him no lip about him getting in the bathroom. He's gonna be able to get in the bathroom, take as much time as he needs, and do whatever he needs to do to unwind from coming in from a long night, hard night at work. That's what he's gonna do. That's what we gonna do. That's it. That's all. Oh, well, how do I get him to see he's selfish? Ma'am, he's not selfish. You got the game twisted. You got the whole entire, you said this man, listen, you ain't saying he's cheating. You not saying he's going 50-50. You not saying he doesn't pay the bills. You not saying any of that. You're telling us this man wants to simply come home and be able to take a shower when he gets home. And you saying that this brother is selfish because he want to wash his behind in peace and not have to worry about rushing. Ma'am, get it together. But this is the thing. It's like we have to think about stuff like this. Like, ma'am, did you not consider your vows? Like, your husband is first. And it's like, this is a conversation. Like, do people even have this conversation? Like, are we having this conversation? What does the family structure look like to you? What is the family dynamic? I think that that's a question that people really legitly need to start asking, like, what is the family? Because clearly people have different values and different ways that they view the family hierarchy. Listen, I know that some of us may not like to hear that word, but there is a family hierarchy. There is. There clearly is. If you're married, it's the husband, the wife, and then the kids. That's the way it is. Listen, for all these other family type structures, I can't speak for that because I know only the traditional family strength. But whatever it is, there's a hierarchy. There's a hierarchy. And it has to be followed. Again, the mother-in-law ain't over the, it's not. Your mama and them should not be over the, it should not be. And a lot of times we get into these situations because we're not talking about this beforehand. So now this is why you have a problem. This is why you're thinking that your husband is selfish, because I'm not sure, did you black out when you were giving your vows? When you were saying I do to this man, did you black out, or were you one of those brides that had the preacher not say certain things, and so now you don't know that you're supposed to put him first? Maybe you had those type of vows, but you probably got to go back and just, figure out what's what. And maybe you guys don't have that traditional type of setup in your house. Maybe he's not the type of dude that, is that strict on that type of hierarchy. But if he's asking you for this, how do you feel that he's selfish? How do you feel that he's selfish for asking you, listen, can you make sure the bathroom is free when I get home? Because see, had it been growing up in our household, let me tell you something. Let me tell you what my stepfather did to us, baby. Taught us a real good lesson. Wait, first, Maisha is saying also, if your house, if you're in a house, add another bathroom. Yeah, I definitely was thinking about that too. Like if you're financially in position to do so. But if you're not, baby girl got to get up and get out of there, because my man is coming to take his shower, and that's who's going to take his shower with some hot water, and he gonna be able to take as long as he's gonna need to, because my man is my husband and is your daddy, and he paying the bills, even if he was not her biological father. And if he's paying the bills, get your end out that bathroom, because it's my man's time. It's the breadwinner's time to be in the bathroom, and we got to be okay. And listen, don't start with that. How you gonna put a man before your kids? You said you chose him. You said I do. So when you said I do, that's what you were saying to do. You were saying that you would put him first. That's what you, listen, that's what you told the pastor and your family and them, not me. You told your pastor, and I do. You said that, not me. So you can't say that he's being selfish when he's holding you to the vows that you made. Because listen, let me tell you something. I remember, listen, my stepfather, God rest his soul, baby. Let me tell you, when I tell you, Patty, woo, Lord. So now listen, he came in, and it was 6 of us at the time. And he was, listen, it take crazy and petty to deal with crazy and petty. He was crazy and petty, and so were we. So I feel like we were definitely, our family was a match made in the pit, because listen, we deserved him and he deserved us. So he would always, it was 5 girls. Well, it was 4 girls at the time. It was 4 girls. And so we would all, listen, a same situation, 1 bathroom. We're in there. Everybody's up in there taking their time, doing their hair. Just everybody, all girls getting cute. You just need that extra time. Baby, listen, he would be trying to get in there to use the bathroom, and he just would be trying to get in the bathroom. It don't matter when. He was just always trying to get in the bathroom. And once we figured out, like, it seemed like every time we were in the bathroom, he needed to get in there. So he was trying to use the bathroom. So one day, baby, this man got tired of trying to get in the bathroom to use the bathroom. We came home one day, baby, he took the toilet out. That man disconnected the toilet and sat it in the bathtub. And he put a sign on there, and he also told us if he couldn't use the bathroom, nobody in that house was gonna use the bathroom. Baby, let me tell you, I bet you we straightened up real quick. And he never had an issue with getting in the bathroom again, because it's like, listen, who wants to have to go? And thankfully, we had our family member live next door, but that only lasted for about a day. Like, they like, listen, y'all ain't finna be coming over here. Baby, that fixed us real quick. So don't have it where the father, he got to turn the water off and do all of this other stuff just to get some respect up in his own house, just to be able to use the bathroom. We should be more mindful than that. So we definitely have to make sure that we are doing better. We got to do much, much better. But ma'am, your husband was not the one that was the weakest link. In this situation, you are the weakest link. And goodbye, because no ma'am, no ma'am, no ham. We are not about to do that. Now listen, speaking of not about to do that, what do you all think about this? Now see, this because this kind of ish, it goes on as well. Now look, you dating somebody and they ghost you. Would you keep calling them just to try to get closure? You realize that you've been ghosted. Would you keep calling and texting a person to try to get closure, or would you leave it at that? You've been ghosted. They ghost you. Not responding to your text message, not responding to your call. Would you keep calling to see what happened? Would you keep calling to try to get closure, or would you just let it go? See, my thing is this. When you talk about ghosting, listen, I never realized that was a real thing, like up until like recently years ago. Like, I was ghosted and I was just like, wait, what? Like, okay. Okay. Like, I'm like, okay, we doing that. And I was shocked because I didn't know what was going on. Like, one day you were having a conversation. Now listen, I've been dumped, and I've had some interesting dumping stories. I can tell you all, listen, we can laugh and just sip coffee over the stories, the dumping stories I've had. Listen, when I tell you they've come, listen, I've had some comical being dumped sessions. Listen, yes. Oh, Jay, how you going? Listen, I don't care. That was their loss. But listen, back to this ghosting ish. But I didn't know what it was. I'm like, I thought something had happened to him because I never had been ghosted. And then so when I just realized, I'm like, okay, well, ain't nothing happened. He gone. I'm like, okay. So I was just like, dang, like what happened? So being ghosted will cause you to have oh my God, like what happened? Like, what did I do wrong? Or what happened? Where did we go wrong? Or any of that. But now, once I realized what it was, I'm just like, well, you have to stop. Sometimes there is no closure. Sometimes the ghost is the closure. So once, my thing was this. First of all, you got to determine, like, let's figure out if you've been ghosted. Because if you're like me, you like, wait a minute, what? Like, huh? I'm like, okay, it wasn't that deep. You could have just said something. Like, I always say that I'm very vocal about this one thing. If you're no longer checking for me, if I no longer do it for you, just say something. I'm not gonna call you. I'm not going to chase you. I'm not going to do any of that. Just let me know. And that's it. You will never hear from me again. That's my anthem. I live by that. Like if you're no longer Team J, just say that. I'm okay. But see, today, people today are very, very, very malicious. A lot of people today, and this ghosting is gonna lead us into our topic tonight of responsible dating. But when you ghost a person, unless it's for safety reasons, I can understand that. Sometimes you just got to get away if it's for safety reasons. But these are not safety reason situations. So let's talk about it. If you call them, the moment you realize that nothing is wrong with them and they've just checked out and you've been ghosted, let it go. Don't send an emotional message trying to get closure and all this and that, because they're not going to give it to you. The ghost is the closure. You have to accept the closure, and you got to find out a way to deal with it however you have to deal with it. And I would say this, if a person ghosts you and it's not for safety reasons, do not go examining yourself and trying to find fault with yourself. If they did not give you any closure, if you did not get a reason, for me, I'm not blaming myself. I'm just going to say I didn't do it for this brother, and that's just what it was. I didn't do it for you. And he did not respect me enough to tell me I didn't do it for him. And I'm okay with that. So now, listen, no sweat, no harm, no foul, because that's where it is. So I've given my own self my closure, because clearly you don't want to talk anymore. Clearly you didn't think that it was worth you giving a proper exit. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Do I like it? Absolutely not. Would I respect you for that? Absolutely not, because it don't have to be done like this a lot of times. Pretty Tasha, you're saying some people have hangups and don't want to say what is, so they would rather avoid you. It does not mean you did anything wrong to them. I understand that. Hey, Cedric, how you doing? I understand that, Pretty Tasha, but my thing is, if a person is texting you and you just dropped off without anything, I mean, fade out. Now, here I'm with that, Pretty Tasha. I'm a fade out type person. I'm a fade out. I'm a fade out. We gonna eventually stop going out and stop hanging out and things like that, because I'm fading out. Like, you'll ask, you want to go out, let's go get something to eat. No, not tonight. No, I'm not really up for it. And once you start getting I'm really not up for it, because sometimes I don't want to be confrontational. I don't want to, have any bad blood. I just don't want to do that. So I just fade back. But I'm not going to just disappear and you're texting me and not respond to the text message or not respond to a phone call. I'm not going to do that. So, like, that's the part that gets me, is the not responding. Like, again, if it gets too much in that they keep asking and like, man, what's going on? Like, I mean, do you want to be bothered anymore? Like, I mean, is this over? Did you find something else? Like, I mean, are you dealing with somebody else? Like, let me know what's going on. If I'm hit with that, then I'll be like, you know what? Yeah, it's not working out. Like, I mean, it's just not working out. And my thing is, when breaking up, like, I'm not trying to dismantle somebody. We often wonder why we get crappy people. Like, it's so much crap out here. It's because the way we do things. When we date people, or we're in relationships and it end, why does it have to be so hurtful? Why does it have to be so toxic? Why does it have to be so bad? Pretty Tasha, you said, yeah, that happened to me. Cedric, you're saying just extend some courtesy. Absolutely. It's just like, if it's over, it's over. Now, listen, if they know that you're a person that could tend to make a scene, then they might, again, I wouldn't say ghosting somebody. Only ghosting is only in dangerous situations. If they're dangerous and this has gotten toxic and hostile physically or mentally, then I gotta go. I can't, there's no way for me to safely exit from this situation. And you crazy. You crazy if you've been putting your hands on somebody and now you texting and they ain't responding. Your end got ghosted. They running from you, as they should. But if it's not that type of situation, then it's just like, what's wrong with, like Cedric just said, what's wrong with extending courtesy? What's wrong with just having a conversation? I would like to have a conversation. Don't text me. But I would prefer a text message opposed to being ghosted. Why ghost? You know why people ghost? Because they don't want to close the door. So they'll come back, because some of them will come back and make it seem like, well, we never broke up. We did break up. We broke up the moment you stopped responding, the moment we stopped communicating, the moment you were incognito. That was it. And I'm a good person to process information like that. You doggone right, Cedric. You said just treat them like a cicada. You doggone right. I slapped that thing off of my legs. Cedric, another one had got on my leg after I had got off the live. I'm telling you, I almost didn't make it upstairs. That cicada ish was real. But you got to just let them know. Like some people, they straddle the fence. So you got to be careful with that so-called ghosting, because they'll be gone for a couple of weeks, couple of months, then call you up like nothing ever happened. Like, wait, what? What are we really doing this? So you got to be mindful for that, because people do that to continuously string you along. And before you know it, years, months turns into days, years, all this and that. You're like, wait a minute. I'm not going to be a part of this foolery. So if you've been ghosted, once you realize that that's what it is, let it go. Stop asking people for closure. Give your own self closure. Tell yourself whatever it is you got to tell yourself in order to make peace with the situation. But by all means, do not sit there and keep calling and chasing after a person, because they got the message. They're just waiting for you to get them. When are you going to get the message? No response is a message. No reply is a message. No answering the phone is a message. Because here's the deal. Here's how to quickly sum up you've been ghosted. Okay? Quick way. Mostly everybody is on social media every day, several times a day. 24 hours go by, no response. 48 hours go by, no response. 72 hours, listen, at 24 hours, I'm accepting that it's ghost. It's ghost. Because nobody goes 24 hours without checking their phone. Nobody, even little kids. As soon as they get out of school, them jokers racing to check their phone and turn their phone on. I asked my little nephew, hey, you got a job? Were you expecting your boss to call you or something? What you running to that phone like that? Like, who you looking for to call you? So nobody is without their phone. Especially if you know that the person, they kept their phone glued to them like it was a second coat of skin. And now you're texting them and you're trying to get closure and you're trying to find out, baby, that's the time to let it go and accept you've been ghosted. Let it go. Don't question your value, your worth, or anything else. It is what it is. Now, am I saying that that's going to be easy? It's not, especially if you cared about the person. You'll be like, dang, you ain't think enough of me to even have a conversation. No, they didn't. Listen, I started filling in the blanks. I started answering the questions myself. No, he did not. If he did, it wouldn't have ended like this. If he had enough respect for me, if he cared like he said he cared, then it wouldn't have been. So don't go second guessing yourself. Just accept the situation for what it is, because again, people know what they're doing. People know exactly what they're doing, and some people just are just set out to just hurt other people for whatever reason. Cedric, you're saying they toxic and want that attention, so recognize and move on. Pretty Tasha, you're saying exactly, because I know my worth. You say you know your worth, and you say you've been there. That's happened to you. Exactly. They check in at some point in time so they know you've been calling and texting them. Absolutely. And they do it to keep a foot in. But you have to be strong enough to say, you know what, listen, I'm done. Like I don't need no closure. I don't need you to close nothing for me, because I'm closing it. Wherever you've been, go back over there and be happy. Be happy. Go do you, because I'm going to do me. Because that's going to lead into our topic for tonight. And tonight, guys, we're talking about responsible dating. Now, here's the deal. Dating is rough. It is rough, baby. This is so much fecal matter in this dating pool. I don't care what financial range and category you fall in. It is so much fecal matter, so much bull junkie going on. It's just like sometimes you don't know if you coming or going because of the type of foolery that is going on with these people. It's just like you're like, wait, what? Are we really doing this? But you got to understand that dating, some people are so reckless when it comes to dating that they literally have little to no regards to how other people are feeling. They have no regards as to how what they're dating and how they're living and how they're moving. They don't care how it's affecting the people that they are involved with. Like people, just like we were talking about moments ago, when you're ghosting somebody, people don't even care. They don't even care how they leave you. They don't even care if they leave you in an emotional wreck. They don't care. They don't care if they are mentally. My thing is this: why do we have to dismantle each other, mentally dismantle each other, emotionally dismantle each other, just because the relationship is over? So you want to Mortal Kombat my heart because you no longer want to deal with me. So why you got to finish her, finish him? Why do we have to have that type of attitude with dating? Like, if it didn't work out between us, I want to wish you well. Like, I don't want to see you messed up. I want to see you happy. Just because we were not meant to go the long haul doesn't mean that I should do all of this crazy stuff to mess you up and to put you in a bad headspace. So now you not worthy, you not fit to be with nobody else. You can't be with anybody else because now you can't shake off how bad I've done you. So now you're going to go, now you got your guards up, now you got these walls up. So now you can't go and you can't be with the next person because you messing them up. So if women are messing the men up and men are messing the women up, we're coming to each other broken. We're coming to each other scared. We're coming to each other just truly messed up because of what we're doing to each other. Cedric is saying, what type of dating? Because the dating game is different nowadays. We're going to get into that, Cedric. And speaking of dating, let's talk about what dating is. So, according to an online source, Dating is a stage of romantic relationships whereby two people meet socially with the aim of assessing each other's suitability as a prospective partner in an intimate relationship or marriage. So basically, we checking each other out, trying to get to know each other. But here's the thing, if anybody out there like me, for a long time, before I started the J Spot right in the beginning, you all taught me real quick that dating and being in a relationship, baby, was two different things. Because I thought that when we dated, when we went out, I was your boo and you was my boo. Baby, I quickly found out that you all do not, and I mean do not, operate under those same guidelines. So trust me, I learned quickly. Because my thing is this, like dating, I've never liked dating. I've never liked getting to know new people. I in the past I didn't, but now I'm like, okay, let me come up out of that because clearly, people are not, people got all of these options. So it's like you would be crazy. You got to keep your options open too until you know that a person has chosen you. But in these days, they act like they chose you and still listen. They have you in a relate, baby. They have you in a relationship and they still out there dating. You like, wait a minute. So you want to put me in a relationship? So I'm in a relationship with you, but you still out there dating everybody else. You'd be like, now come on, honey, now make that make sense. But baby, they out here doing it. That's all I'm gonna tell you. That's what they out here doing it. They out here and they dating, they got you in a relationship and they dating everybody else. But when you talk about that, the difference in dating is you're seeing multiple people. So we can see multiple people. And that's because that's what dating is. But the responsible part comes in at you got to let that be known. Because again, like I just said, don't try to put somebody in a relationship with you, but then you're still out, you're still dating. So you want them to give you relationship access. You want them to give you relationship affection and relationship attention and relationship respect, but you're giving them dating. You're giving them dating status. So you're dating them and you're treating them like you're dating them, but you expect them to treat you like they're in a relationship with you. How does that work? You guys, people have this thing definitely messed up, and it's definitely unfortunate. Now, pretty Tasha, you're saying I was on a dating site back in December last year. I started talking to this guy on December 12th. We video chatted about 2 times. Then we talked on the phone. 3 weeks later, a woman texts me telling me he is engaged. Like, how in the heck someone spending their time on a dating site when they are engaged? Man, pretty Tasha, listen. Be thankful you found out before you flew out somewhere or had him to come out somewhere to meet you. Be thankful that you found out before you fell in love and all this and that. But again, that just goes back to saying people are not even responsible now. And guess what? She done made the fiance done made an excuse for him. He done lied and they, had her swinging off the chandeliers. And now she gonna keep him. She gonna stay with him because he done lied and told her something that, she made herself believe. And then she's gonna go on. Ma'am, you caught this man in a full-fledged trying to get a whole nother relationship while he's supposed to be engaged with you. But again, it's so much stuff that we do that we don't. It's like it's not even necessary. Cedric is saying, no, there ain't no labels on it. You're right. There are no labels to when you are dating. But I think that there's a way to do it where we can have some decorum with doing so. And the first thing would be being open, being upfront about, listen, this is what it is. We are dating. We're not in a relationship. Now let's talk about what a relationship is. According to an online source, a relationship is when two people are connected by a mutual commitment to each other. I am, you is my baby. Is your baby. Is you is or is it you ate my baby? Is you is or you ate my baby? That's the conversation we gonna have. I'm like, I'm your baby. You my baby. So you my womb. You have to have a conversation about that ish. You and your person have agreed you're with each other. You, me, we together. You're not married, so there's no piece of paper where people like say, oh, we ain't got no piece of paper. But if I'm trusting in you and holding you to your word and you holding me to my word, I expect us to be able to honor what we said to each other. Because again, don't put me in a relationship, but you still want to see other people. Don't take away my right to see other people if you still want to see other people. I'm cool with that. Like, it is what it is. But be upfront. But we're not going to do that. Pretty Tasha, you said that is true. You are so right, sis. It is good. I found out sooner than later. It's just crazy. Yes. But you're exclusively seeing each other when you're in a relationship. So that's the difference with dating and being in a relationship. Dating, there is no exclusivity, there are no titles, and there should be no expectations, so to speak. But it should be respect. I expect respect. I expect, consideration. Like, we're not in a relationship, but then, you don't have to. It's just certain things, like, I don't know. And I just sit back and I just watch the way people move. And I want to just see how you move organically. Because when I see how you move, man, I may, listen, if I'm in my feelings, I might stick around. But once I'm done, I'm done. Like, keep on moving however you move. And I'm going to move right out your way and let you do whatever it is that you want to do. But again, when you're talking about just strictly dating, it's open. There are no commitments. We're not committed to each other. Cedric, you're saying monogamy. Yes. So if you expect me to be monogamous, then you need to be monogamous as well. Because if you not trying to be monogamous, don't try to have me being monogamous. But here's the thing. You got to ask yourself when we're out here today, listen, that's the good thing about today. People are open to just about anything. You don't have to lie about your relationship status, baby. You can tell somebody that you married. And they going to ask you, the next question they going to ask you, are you happy? What does it matter? If I'm married, it don't matter. I'm his problem. I'm not your problem. I'm this guy's problem. So whether I'm happy or not, that should be the end of the conversation. But for a lot of people, it is not. So we got to definitely be mindful of that when we are dating. Listen, so do you prefer to date or do you prefer to be in a relationship? Me, in today's society, I don't want to deal with it. I don't like the whole shebang. So I'm just like, you know what? I always tell my son is, by New Edition, you got to count me out. You got to count me out. You can count me out this ish right now because it's too much going on. Like, where are the good people? Where are the people with the good hearts? Where are the, the semi-sane people? Because, I think that everybody got a little touch of crazy in them. But where are the people that got their crazy under control? Where are those type of people? I think that a lot of that is missing. And we got a lot of people out here that have been damaged, that have been broken, and they out here messing people up. So here I urge you, if you have had a slew of bad relationships, bad marriages, and your heart is just cold, you cold-hearted, you're not in a good space emotionally or mentally, please stop dating. Please get out the dating pool and get some help. Go talk to a professional because you messing up everybody else. So now You messing folks up because you got messed up. And we're going to keep on keeping this cycle going because everybody is messed up. You ain't talked to nobody. You ain't took time to heal. You haven't taken the time to do any of that. So you say, Jay, what does it mean to be responsible dating? It means to make sure that when you are going out, like you getting what you need and they getting what they need. Like you're mindful of the bull junkie. You're mindful of the games. You're honest. Like, listen, again, responsibly dating is doing just that. We're dating. I'm not committed to you. You're not committed to me. We can go and see whomever. But if I know I was out with you on Friday and I see you on Saturday with somebody else, I'm out with my friends, I don't have the right to clown because we're not like that. We're dating. So ladies, if you're in that situation, even fellas, if you in that situation and you know you dating, because here's the thing, fellas, what I'm noticing that you all are started trying to do, some of you all liking to do, now you want to get mad at her because she's dating. Isn't that what she's supposed to be doing? So you mad at her because she went out on Friday with you, but now she with somebody else on Saturday. What is she supposed to do? Sit and twiddle her thumbs until you decide to ask her out again? No. If you're dating and she's dating, she's free to go out the next night or whatever with whomever else. And she shouldn't be labeled anything outside of she's a woman dating, just like you're a man dating. So, but we don't have to throw it up in each other's faces like, oh well, I'm going. Well, when I got to hurry up and drop you off because I got another date. All that's not necessary. All that's not necessary. If you got another date, drop me off. Listen, okay, it was fun. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time. All right, likewise. So now if we both happen to end up on another date with somebody else, then guess what? We on a date with somebody else and we on our way, But we gotta stop with the games. We gotta date with our head and not our heart. Stop going all in and putting your emotions all out there in the situation when you're dating. That's why I don't like dating, because I know myself and I know I have a hard time separating things. So you got to be mindful of that. Accept responsibility. Listen, like if it's not working out, make a clean break. Again, you don't owe anybody anything, but if we were dating, don't just ghost up and just, adult up and say, listen, it is what it is. I'm not feeling this, and let's just go on, let bygones be bygones. Be upfront about what it is that you want. If you know that you want a relationship, don't just sit up there and let people think that you're going to be fine with dating long term, because you're not. Let them know what you want. It's okay if you want a relationship, because you got to let them know. It may not be, the relationship may not be with them, but you have to let them know that, listen, I'm looking for a relationship, or I'm looking to potentially get married one day. Whatever it is, you got to let people know. But don't sit up there and assume that they're going to know. And then listen, let's be honest with our relationship status. Let's not be married, engaged, or in a serious committed relationship and be out here trying to meet new people, and then you pretending that you're single. That's not dating responsibly. And then the last thing is just listen. We got to start treating people how we want to be treated. Say what you mean and mean what you say. But let's not be out here mentally and emotionally dismantling each other. We got enough of that ish in the dating pool as of now. So listen, let's just do better with each other. If you in, you in. You out, you out. Say it and be done. Until next time, you guys, listen, I want to thank you all so much for tuning in. Please do me a favor, you all. Go to our page, like our page at the J Spot. Follow us on Twitter at J Spot. Also follow us on Instagram at the J Spot. And J is spelled Jaye for all three. While you're at it, go right around the corner Go to YouTube, like and subscribe our channel, the J Spot Radio. Go to TikTok, like and subscribe to our channel there. That's the J Spot. Again, guys, J is Jaye. Turn on the notification bell for all platforms. Until next time, you all take care of yourselves and each other. Good night. Peace out. Good night, you guys. Good night, good night, good night. And date responsibly, you all. Oh, and watch them cicadas out there, you all. Them cicadas ain't no joke. Be careful with them cicadas. Raggedy little, nasty little cicadas. Little raggedy little things.